Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Desamos, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. This video is going to help the empaths. If you know that you're an empath and you're on your healing journey, it is going to be a video that is going to help you. Now, one of the things you recognize as an empath who is healing is that you have got a fear of being seen or a fear of being heard. We're talking about a wound. That wound could have come from your childhood. Your parents, probably you've been raised in a very dysfunctional family, maybe narcissistic family. And you had toxic people that were taking care of you at one point in time. Even if you've been in a relationship, you have been with this partner who never wanted you to be seen, okay? So they've always been hiding you behind the scenes, and they didn't want anybody to recognize and to see your worth or your value. Now, this is a subconscious. It can start as a conscious thing, where they may sometimes do it consciously, but at the end of the day, it is going to go very deep in your subconscious, and you're going to recognize at some point on your healing journey as well that you're struggling with the fear of being seen. So you don't want to put yourself out there. You know, you have something to talk about. You're struggling to put yourself out there. You don't want anybody to see you because you want to stay in your comfort zone, in your little room, and, and hide away from the world. And sometimes it can be good to be alone and to do your own thing, okay? That's there's not a problem with that. But at the same time, it can be a problem because the people that are meant to find you, the destiny helpers, the people supposed to help you along your journey, destiny helpers, or the people who want to hear what you say, or the people that want to see what you do, they do not have anywhere to find you, okay? So you do not have some kind of exposure for you to be able to find your soul tribe. And you might have that thing in you that whereby you want to put out, there is something you want to share with the world. Maybe you want to start sharing online, okay? So maybe you want to become a motivational speaker, or you want to start up a business, but at the same time, you have got that very, very deep fear seated within your subconscious, and that fear is stopping you and blocking you from actually manifesting your dreams, okay? Now, this is something which I personally struggled with in the beginning. It was very, very hard for me to start coming out and expressing myself and speaking my truth and standing in my authenticity. It was something very, very difficult. So I had to do a lot of work on this. And the more I kept on doing it, the more it became easier. You see, so because when you can start learning how to reprogram your mind to do something, and you can consistently do it for a good number of weeks, let's say between 3-4 weeks, or even sometimes you can go ahead and do it for 3 months, the subconscious mind is going to pick up on that and is going to help you carry on, and you're going to be on autoplay, okay? That is one of the things I've also taught on this channel. Now, let us go back to the beginning. First of all, where did this fear come from? You had these parents, of course, they were narcissistic. And of course, in that time, like everybody else, we did not know that, okay? And these parents never wanted you to put yourself out there, okay? So whenever there was an occasion happening, there was a function happening, they always wanted you seated in the corner at the back of everybody, and they never allowed you to say anything, okay? Now, you see, these parents of yours, due to the fact that they are dysfunctional, they do not want the people with the truth to come out and speak or to do anything for that matter. So most of the times I remember personally There's one time I confronted a narcissistic parent, and I was telling the narcissistic parent, listen, we're having a discussion. This was like a discussion. So this narcissistic parent was telling us about, oh, you guys, I don't know what I should do to make things better, this and this. So I think for some reason, the narcissistic parent realized that we are catching up on this game, okay? Especially me, I was catching up on the game. So we're having this discussion where the narcissistic parent was telling us, listen, I want you guys to give me some advice if I need to change something, or should I do something better or in a different way. So me personally, because I knew where the problem was, I started speaking about it. I was trying to confront the narcissistic parent that sometimes the things you say or the way you treat your children is what is causing all these problems. And the moment I started opening my mouth, that is exactly when the conversation ended. So immediately the narcissistic parent got up and said, okay, so this is the end of the conversation. We do not have to speak about this and everything. So the conversation was gone. Okay, so I was not even allowed to speak my thoughts of what I really think about the narcissistic parent in that time. Okay, and these stories can go on and on and on. You might have been in the family whereby sometimes there are family meetings, and sometimes you are the one with the answers, and your answers, they are the truth. But for some reason, for you guys, a lot of you guys who are the black sheep, you already know what I'm talking about. For some reason, you have not been allowed to speak. Anytime you stood up and wanted to say something, your brothers came in, your sisters came in, and they shut you down and ordered you to go back to sleep, or to go back and sit and be quiet, okay? Now, this thing keeps on growing with time, and eventually you realize that actually you can always keep the facts and the truth to yourself, because when you decide to come out and speak for what you believe in or stand up for what you believe in, you're always going to be silenced, or sometimes you're going to be met by a lot of resistance. You know what I mean? So usually you have been giving the platform for the dysfunctional ones to speak, and you've never had the chance to speak your truth your entire life. That is a common situation with a lot of black sheeps of the families, okay? It does not matter if you have been in a relationship. Let's say, for example, you've been dating this narcissist. Have you noticed that when you guys have been taking, for example, a photograph, let me say you wanted to take a picture with those people, with your partner or your husband or your wife. Did you notice that the narcissist in that picture, when you look at that picture, the narcissist was always sticking their head out of the picture, so they were always at the front of everybody. This thing has continuously gone. If you want to know, or if you want to prove what I'm saying, I want you to go back to the picture that you took with the narcissist, and I want you to look at those pictures critically. You're going to see that in all the pictures you guys used to take, the narcissist was the one sticking their head out, and they always wanted to be the ones to be seen first before everybody was seen. Better yet, you have had a conversation with the narcissist. Did you notice that anytime you ended that conversation, let me say, for example, you guys have been talking on the phone or something like that, did you notice that the narcissist was the very first one to switch the off button? So they were the very first ones to sign out of the conversation before anybody else would do that, before you would do that particularly. Now, when you're living with dysfunctional people and toxic people, they will never give you a chance to speak your truth, okay? Personally, in the last job that I did, so there was this incident where there was an incident at work, okay? And somebody said that, okay, so this guy, there had been some complaints behind the scenes, like you guys already know, I've been telling you this. So there have been these discussions happening that, you know what, they have been talking behind my back. But me personally, I wouldn't know that they were talking about me, but I would see the energy. Every time I came to work, the energy was changing. And these people, all of a sudden, they just called me and they said that, listen, you do not have to come back to work, because, so they waited until it was my day off. So they had already pre-programmed this. You see, a lot of times when somebody is in the wrong and when they know that they're not doing something right, they are going to catch you at your most vulnerable moments. So they caught me at that time when I was off work. I was on my day off. And they called me. They were like, okay, we're going to have to terminate your job because somebody claims that you are intimidating them. So they did not even hear. They did not want to invite me to come around and defend myself. Okay, so this was what the situation was, or this is what happened, or this is what happened. The only thing they did, just go home, stay home, and do not come back to work because somebody claims that you have been intimidating them or you are intimidating for them. Okay. Now, usually, chosen ones, I can give you a lot of examples, but of course, I know that you guys have got your own scenarios that you can talk about, which I want to know about in the comment section below. But you always recognize that every time you stood up to speak for yourself and to stand up for your truth, you have somehow been silenced by the people around you because they knew that you were going to actually outshine them, or sometimes they knew that you were going to expose them in one way or the other by you being in your authenticity and speaking your truth. It is the same thing happened when I was living in the dysfunctional family. So when I left the family, I think subconsciously the narcissistic parent knew that, oh, this person probably, they might be having some information that they don't want to speak about, but when they leave the family, they're going to be able to talk about those things. So that's the reason why I had a lot of the hoovers coming in, okay? I got the hoover from the narcissistic parent. I refused the hoover. I got the hoover from some other siblings. I also rejected the hoover because I knew it was now my time to speak the truth. And I knew that when I keep on engaging with these units, I will not be able to speak my truth because they will always be coming around and intercept my progress and whatever it is I had to say or whatever it is I had to do. So this thing keeps on going on and on and on with chosen people, especially the black sheep of the family, okay? Now, that fear is very dangerous because when you are having a fear to speak, or the fear to be seen, or the fear to be heard, okay, it is blocking you from progressing, and it is blocking sometimes even your manifestations, the thing that you want to achieve. It is blocking because at the moment you cannot put yourself out there. You are somewhere in the room, lock yourself up in the room, and you cannot go out there and put yourself out there to do the things that you've always wanted to do. It's the reason as to why I've seen a lot of people, even sometime on this channel. People are like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, but they're thinking, oh, what is this one going to think? Maybe there's that thing in the subconscious is telling them that, oh, you know what? You probably shouldn't even do that, or you probably shouldn't even speak about that because your auntie will say like this, your father will talk like this, your sisters will say this, or your brothers will say this. So always there is somebody on your side that you're worried about is going to see you online, or sometimes they're going to see what you're posting, and sometimes they're going to tell somebody, then somebody will tell somebody. Now you are stuck in that bubble whereby you're now sitting with your truth, and you're not able to put your truth out there and your experiences to help other people, and sometimes to speak about the things that have really been weighing you down for a very long period of time. Now, this is something which you have to work on, chosen ones, okay? If you're a person that I'm talking about in this video, you have got to know that, first of all, the reason why I'm usually telling you to quit this kind of individuals, if it's a job, it's a toxic job, quit the job. Ladies and gentlemen, the universe will take care of you. If it's a relationship that is toxic, get out of that relationship. The universe will take care of you. You have got some time to trust in God and believe that God is going to make for you a way. But you see, the problem is God is not making for you the way when you're still with the same people that are destroying you. That is what is keeping you stuck in some kind of cycles, and you cannot free yourself, okay? So the freedom, first of all, starts with extracting yourself and getting out of toxic situations, families, jobs, schools, situation, whatever. Any environment that you know that it's a very toxic environment, wherever you go there, it is making you very sick to your stomach. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up one day, get the guts. We have all been there. We know it's very difficult, but you have got to get the guts to put on your shoes and walk away. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to look back in time and you thank yourself for walking away from a very toxic situation. Because remember, when you walk away from toxic people and cut them off and block them and remove them out of your life and start moving solo, the universe is going to bring to you a lot of people on your journey that are going to help you on your journey. The universe is going to show you your destiny helpers. But the universe is not showing you these people, or the universe is not putting you out there and giving you the things that you need, because you are stuck somewhere with toxic people because you're worried about what they are going to say, okay? I do not know personally a person that is talking about narcissistic abuse and they're still talking with their narcissistic parents. Let me repeat this one more time. I do not know anyone online that is talking about narcissistic abuse and they're still communicating with their narcissistic parents. That is not possible. You are going to be met with a lot of resistance. They are going to fight with you. They are going to argue with you. They are going to beat you down. Sometimes they will come around and break your equipment. You may sometimes move out of the house and you will find your cameras have been broken, everything, your equipment has been broken. So they are going to sabotage your growth. What am I trying to say here? You have got to face this wound, because this is a wound, okay? It's a trauma. So you're supposed to face this wound the very moment you exit out of those toxic situations. You're not supposed to take this wound head on and make sure that you tackle this wound. Understand, first of all, what it is. What is causing you that fear inside of you? Go back to your childhood and go back to your relationships and remember all those days that you were never allowed to speak, or sometimes you was never allowed to be seen, okay? So Even sometimes when you wanted to shine, you are going for an occasion, your narcissist come around and told you that, listen, you cannot wear this kind of clothes because everybody is going to be watching you, so you cannot. So they've even sometimes gone as far to that extent of choosing the clothes they wanted you to wear in a certain occasion because they never wanted you to be seen. Okay, so that is a very big problem for this kind of toxic individuals, and that thing causes a very big wound in the subconscious mind. That is the wound which is usually you're feeling most of the times, that is keeping you stuck, and you cannot have the chance and the ability to put yourself out there and to make yourself be known and to make yourself be seen and to make yourself be heard for this matter. So ladies and gentlemen, why am I talking about the fear of being seen in this video? The fear of being seen, we all have it. I've had it in the beginning of my journey. Of course, I've been working through it over the time. The more I continued healing, the more I decided to put myself more and more out there. You know what I mean? And now I'm doing it effortlessly. I want it to be the same case with you. You're a person that wants to set up a business. First of all, rule number one, anything you want to do in life, number one, this is something I will continue telling it the way it is, and I will say it again and again until it sinks in very deep in your head. Get out of toxic situations. Let the toxic people go. You are not going to be seen, ladies and gentlemen. You are not going to be heard when you're still hanging around and involved with dysfunctional and toxic people, families, schools, and jobs, and relationships, and marriages, and things like that, and even friendships. Get out first of all and work through that fear, because that fear does not belong to you. That fear has been implanted in you. Okay, it has been a conditioning, and it has been a program that has been set up to keep you stuck in the bubble, so that now your light will not be able to shine. Okay, if I decided many years ago to stay where I was back in the days, keep in my comfort zone and keep quiet with my truth and stay with my truth, nobody will be knowing what I really had in my heart and what I really had in my soul and what I really wanted to share with the world out there. Okay, so that is exactly where the toxic people want you to be. They do not want you to shine, they do not want you to be seen, and they do not want you to do anything for yourself, because they have got that belief that you are going to outshine them. Should you start doing anything in life, you are going to outshine them. So they already know this on a very subconscious level. Chosen ones, empaths, black sheep of the family, it's time for you to get up. Okay, stop being fearful of who is listening to you. Stop being fearful of criticism. Stop being fearful of your parents, of your toxic relatives, of your friends, of your relationship partners. If you know that even sometimes you're married to a toxic individual and that individual is not allowing you to grow, ladies and gentlemen, let that person go. Do you know the reason as to why a lot of people in toxic relationships, they're even struggling to get something as simple as a driving license? You're trying to work on your driver's license, you're trying to work on your courses or on a study course or something like that, something what is going to move you to the next level. Do you know the reason why those individuals, they do not want to do that? And every time you get up and do that thing what you wanted to do, they're always going to come around and sabotage your practice. That is because they want you stuck in a little box and they do not want you to shine. Okay, so understand what is toxicity. Love yourself enough to be able to walk away, put on your shoes and grab your bags and walk out of those situations, ladies and gentlemen, if you're the person that wants to evolve. And make sure that you do not find any form of excuse. Let those individuals take care of themselves and let them deal with their own BS. You did not come here to serve the people that are not serving you, and you did not come here to help the people that are not helping you. Get out there, ladies and gentlemen. Put yourself out there. You have got a camera. It is time for you to start speaking your truth. Even if it is something as simple as starting a YouTube channel or an online platform or whatever, or a website, or Instagram account or whatever, Twitter, it does not matter, ladies and gentlemen. Get out there, speak your truth, and you're going to eventually become the greatest version of yourself, and it's going to lead you to your purpose, which is going to eventually make you become that greatest version of yourself. Okay, I hope this video inspires you, and I hope now you know where these wounds came from and where the whole problem started. Okay, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. You guys know that I do love and appreciate your support. You can book a session with me if you want to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.